Do you remember those old family barbecues at Grandpa's place? The smell of the grill, the laughter, and those unforgettable dishes that made the gathering truly special. Today, we're diving deep into nostalgia with 10 forgotten barbecue foods your grandpa had on the table that will make you cry. These classic dishes, once staples of American barbecue culture, have faded away over the years, but they still hold a special place in our hearts. Number 1. Barbecue pineapple ham steaks. Barbecue pineapple ham steaks were a quintessential barbecue dish that gained immense popularity in the mid-20th century, particularly in the 1950s and 1960s. This dish combines thick, juicy slices of ham with the tropical sweetness of pineapple, creating a harmonious blend of flavors that was a hit at family gatherings and summer cookouts. The origin of this dish can be traced back to a time when canned goods, such as pineapple, became more widely available in the United States. This increased accessibility allowed households to experiment with new recipes that incorporated both sweet and savory elements. The preparation of barbecue pineapple ham steaks was relatively straightforward, making it an appealing choice for home cooks. The ham steaks, usually cut from a bone-in ham, were generously brushed with a sweet and tangy barbecue sauce. This sauce typically consisted of ingredients like brown sugar, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, and sometimes a splash of vinegar for added depth. The steaks were then topped with a pineapple ring, sometimes marinated in a mixture of brown sugar and pineapple juice to enhance the sweetness. Grilling these ham steaks was an art in itself. They were placed on a hot grill, allowing the sugars in the barbecue sauce and pineapple to caramelize, creating a delectable, slightly crispy crust on the outside of the ham. The pineapple rings also received a subtle char, enhancing their sweetness while adding a smoky undertone. The combination of the sweet, caramelized pineapple and the savory, smoky ham made this dish a memorable part of any barbecue spread. Barbecue pineapple ham steaks were particularly popular during post-war America when there was a cultural emphasis on quick, easy-to-prepare meals that still felt festive and special. The sweet and savory profile of the dish appealed to a broad range of tastes, from children to adults. Moreover, this dish represented a fusion of flavors that were relatively new to the American palate at the time, reflecting the era's culinary curiosity and openness to new experiences. However, as culinary trends evolved and people began to favor fresh ingredients over canned goods, barbecue pineapple ham steaks began to fade in popularity. The dish also fell out of favor as American barbecue culture increasingly embraced regional styles that emphasized more traditional slow-cooked meats like ribs and brisket. Despite this, barbecue pineapple ham steaks remain a nostalgic memory for many, capturing a time when the fusion of sweet and savory was a novel and exciting concept on the American dinner table. Number 2. Texas corn pudding. Texas corn pudding is a traditional Southern dish that has roots deeply embedded in the heart of Texas cuisine, where corn has long been a staple ingredient due to its abundance and versatility. Unlike other corn-based dishes, Texas corn pudding is celebrated for its creamy texture and rich flavor, making it a beloved side dish at BBQs, family gatherings, and holiday meals throughout the mid-20th century. The dish typically starts with fresh or canned sweet corn, which is mixed with ingredients such as eggs, milk or cream, butter, and a small amount of sugar to enhance the corn's natural sweetness. Some variations include cornmeal or flour to thicken the mixture, giving it a firmer texture that is akin to a custard. This mix is then seasoned with salt, pepper, and occasionally a hint of paprika or cayenne for a slight kick, which highlights the dish's ability to balance sweet and savory flavors. One of the unique aspects of Texas corn pudding is its baking process. The mixture is poured into a casserole dish and baked slowly at a moderate temperature. This allows the pudding to set without becoming too firm, resulting in a dish that is both creamy and slightly crusted on top, with the natural sugars from the corn caramelizing at the edges. The result is a golden, slightly crispy crust that contrasts with the soft, custardy interior, making every bite a delightful mix of textures and flavors. The versatility of Texas corn pudding also allows for many regional adaptations. In some parts of Texas, you might find versions with added green chilies, jalapenos, or bell peppers, providing a burst of heat and color. Other versions might incorporate cheese, such as sharp cheddar or Monterey Jack, which melts into the pudding to create a richer, more indulgent dish. These variations showcase the flexibility of the recipe, allowing it to cater to different palates and preferences, making it a staple at diverse gatherings across Texas. Another key point that sets Texas corn pudding apart is its role in Texas barbecue culture. The dish is particularly valued for its ability to complement the smoky, robust flavors of barbecued meats, acting as a creamy, sweet counterbalance to the intense flavors of brisket, ribs, or smoked sausage. This harmonious pairing made it a popular side dish during the height of Texas barbecue's popularity in the 1960s and 1970s, contributing to its nostalgic status today. Texas corn pudding's decline in popularity can be linked to the evolution of barbecue side dishes over the years. As barbecue became more mainstream and global influences began to shape American cuisine, lighter sides like coleslaw, beans, and fresh salads began to take precedence. Despite this shift, Texas corn pudding remains a beloved dish among those who cherish traditional Southern cooking, and it often makes a comeback in retro-inspired dinners or regional food festivals, where its rich history and comforting flavors continue to resonate. Number 3. Deviled eggs with relish. Deviled eggs with relish have long been a beloved staple at gatherings, particularly in the mid-20th century when they were a must-have at picnics, barbecues, and family reunions. This dish, which combines hard-boiled eggs with a creamy, tangy filling, was often customized with different ingredients to cater to a variety of tastes. The addition of sweet pickle relish in the filling is what set this version apart, adding a unique sweetness that contrasted beautifully with the creamy yolk mixture and sharpness of mustard. The classic preparation for deviled eggs involves hard-boiling eggs until the whites are firm but still tender. Once boiled and cooled, the eggs are sliced in half lengthwise, and the yolks are removed to create a cavity for the filling. The yolks are then mashed to a fine consistency and mixed with mayonnaise, yellow mustard, salt, and pepper. The sweet pickle relish is the star ingredient in this mix, providing a sweet and tangy flavor that elevates the dish. The relish not only adds sweetness but also introduces a slight crunch to the otherwise smooth filling, making each bite texturally interesting. Deviled eggs with relish were particularly popular in the 1950s and 1960s, a time when many American households embraced convenience and flavor. The recipe could be easily prepared ahead of time, allowing the flavors to meld in the refrigerator before being served. This made them an ideal choice for busy homemakers looking to prepare dishes in advance for large family gatherings or church potlucks. Additionally, the dish was economical, using ingredients that were typically already on hand in most households, making it both accessible and affordable. This version of deviled eggs also provided a versatile base for creativity. Cooks often experimented with the recipe, adding ingredients like paprika for color, hot sauce for a bit of heat, or even crumbled bacon for added smokiness. Some recipes replaced the mayonnaise with sour cream or Greek yogurt to provide a slightly tangier filling, while others incorporated chopped herbs like dill or parsley to enhance the flavor profile. Despite these variations, the essential combination of egg yolk and sweet pickle relish remained a constant favorite, loved for its simplicity and balanced flavor. Over the years, deviled eggs with relish have become somewhat less common as culinary trends shifted towards more modern appetizers and finger foods. However, the dish still holds a nostalgic value, particularly among older generations who remember them as a centerpiece of family gatherings and celebrations. Today, they are often featured at retro-themed parties or Southern-style events, where they continue to delight with their combination of creamy, tangy, and sweet flavors that can transport one back to a simpler time of homemade comfort foods. Number 4. Grilled bologna. Grilled bologna, a dish that might surprise some today, was once a staple at Southern barbecues, particularly in the 1960s and 1970s. This budget-friendly meat was embraced for its simplicity and its ability to feed large groups without breaking the bank. The dish typically involved slicing a thick cut from a bologna chub, often up to an inch thick, and scoring the edges to prevent curling during cooking. These slices were then generously coated with barbecue sauce, which could range from a simple ketchup and brown sugar mix to more complex homemade sauces with vinegar, mustard, and spices. The grilling process added a layer of flavor that transformed the humble bologna into a delicacy of sorts. The high heat of the grill caramelized the sugars in the barbecue sauce, creating a slightly charred, crispy exterior that contrasted with the tender, juicy interior of the bologna. The scoring on the edges not only kept the slices flat but also allowed the edges to crisp up beautifully, adding to the dish's texture. Some variations of grilled bologna involved placing the slices on skewers or grilling them on a cast iron skillet over an open flame, infusing the meat with a smoky essence that further elevated its flavor profile. What made grilled bologna particularly appealing was its versatility. It could be served in a variety of ways: as a simple appetizer, in sandwiches with a slice of cheese and pickles, or even chopped up and added to salads for a smoky twist. For many, grilled bologna sandwiches became a comfort food, often paired with white bread, mayonnaise, lettuce, and tomato. This made it an incredibly flexible dish that could be easily adapted to suit different tastes and settings, from casual backyard barbecues to more formal gatherings. Despite its popularity, the decline of grilled bologna in mainstream barbecue culture began as more premium meats became more accessible and affordable. As barbecue techniques evolved and palates changed, people began to favor slow-cooked briskets, ribs, and pulled pork over simpler, processed meats like bologna. Additionally, the rise of health consciousness in the late 20th century led many to move away from highly processed foods, including bologna, which was often high in sodium and preservatives. However, grilled bologna still holds a special place in the hearts of many who grew up enjoying it at family gatherings and community events. Its nostalgia factor is strong, particularly in the southern United States, where it is sometimes still featured at retro-themed barbecues or as a throwback dish in modern smokehouses. For those who remember its smoky, savory taste, grilled bologna serves as a reminder of simpler times and the unpretentious joy of backyard cooking. Number 6. Barbecue chicken livers. Barbecue chicken livers are a unique addition to barbecue traditions, often appreciated for their rich flavor and tender texture. The preparation of barbecue chicken livers involves a careful process that begins with selecting high-quality livers, which are usually cleaned thoroughly to remove any excess fat or connective tissue. The livers are then marinated to enhance their flavor and tenderize the meat. A popular marinade includes a mixture of soy sauce, garlic, lemon juice, olive oil, and a hint of honey or brown sugar. This combination not only adds a depth of flavor but also helps to caramelize the livers during grilling, creating a slightly crispy exterior while keeping the inside tender and moist. Cooking chicken livers on the grill requires a delicate balance of heat. The livers are often skewered to make handling easier and to ensure even cooking. They are placed on a medium-hot grill, where they cook relatively quickly due to their small size and delicate nature. The key is to grill them just long enough to achieve a slight char without overcooking, as chicken livers can become tough and grainy if left on the heat too long. This grilling method imparts a smoky flavor that complements the natural richness of the liver, making it a flavorful addition to any barbecue spread. Barbecue chicken livers were especially popular in the southern United States, where they were frequently served at community gatherings, church picnics, and family barbecues. The dish's popularity can be attributed to its affordability and nutritional benefits. Chicken livers are a great source of protein, iron, and vitamins A and B12, making them a nutritious option that was both economical and readily available. The unique flavor profile of chicken livers, earthy, slightly metallic and creamy, was often enhanced with bold spices and sauces, catering to the southern palate, which favored robust, intense flavors. To add variety, some cooks would glaze the livers with a barbecue sauce that combines ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, vinegar, and a bit of sugar or molasses. This sauce not only provided a sticky, sweet coating that caramelized beautifully on the grill but also balanced the liver's strong flavor, making them more palatable for those who might find the taste of liver overwhelming. Others preferred to dust the livers with a seasoned flour mixture before grilling to add a crispy, textured crust that contrasted nicely with the creamy interior. Beyond traditional barbecue, barbecue chicken livers have also seen creative variations. For instance, in some regions, the livers are wrapped in bacon before grilling, a method known as reminiscing. This technique adds a layer of smoky, salty flavor from the bacon, which crisps up beautifully on the grill while keeping the liver inside tender and juicy. Additionally, skewering the livers with vegetables like bell peppers, onions, or mushrooms can create a colorful and tasty kebab, adding different textures and flavors that enhance the overall experience of the dish. Barbecue chicken livers, though not as common today, continue to be a cherished dish among those who appreciate traditional southern barbecue fare. Their unique flavor and texture, coupled with their nutritional value, make them a versatile and interesting choice for grilling enthusiasts looking to explore beyond the usual cuts of meat. Number 7. Marinated pork shoulder steaks. Marinated pork shoulder steaks were once a beloved fixture at family barbecues, especially in the southern United States during the 1950s and 1960s. These steaks, cut from the shoulder of the pig, are known for their rich marbling and tender texture, which makes them perfect for grilling. Unlike leaner cuts of pork, the fat content in pork shoulder steaks allows them to remain juicy and flavorful even after long cooking times on the grill. This marbling also helps the meat absorb marinades more effectively, creating a depth of flavor that is hard to replicate with leaner cuts. The preparation of marinated pork shoulder steaks typically began with a robust marinade designed to tenderize the meat and infuse it with flavor. Common marinade ingredients included vinegar, which helps break down the proteins and tenderize the meat, oil, which keeps the meat moist and helps the marinade adhere to the surface, and a blend of spices such as garlic, paprika, black pepper, and sometimes a touch of cayenne for heat. Herbs like thyme, rosemary, or oregano were also popular, adding aromatic complexity to the dish. The steaks were usually left to marinate for several hours or even overnight, allowing the flavors to deeply penetrate the meat. When it came time to cook the pork shoulder steaks, they were often grilled over medium-high heat to ensure a good sear while allowing the interior to cook slowly. This method created a perfect char on the outside, caramelizing the sugars in the marinade and creating a smoky, slightly sweet crust. The combination of the charred exterior and the juicy, tender interior made these steaks a hit at any barbecue. The grilling process also helped render some of the fat, which basted the meat as it cooked, adding to its succulence and flavor. Marinated pork shoulder steaks were particularly popular at large family gatherings and community events because they were an affordable way to serve a large group of people. Pork shoulder, being a relatively inexpensive cut, was accessible to families looking to stretch their food budget without compromising on taste. The steaks could be grilled in large batches, making them a practical choice for feeding crowds. Number 8. Foil-wrapped potatoes with onions. Foil-wrapped potatoes with onions were a nostalgic favorite at many family barbecues in the 1950s and 1960s, a time when simplicity and hearty flavors defined outdoor cooking. These potatoes were more than just a side dish. They were a symbol of the warmth and togetherness of family gatherings. The smell of potatoes and onions cooking in foil over an open flame instantly brings back memories of summer evenings, when families would gather around the grill, enjoying the company of loved ones and the comforting taste of homemade food. The appeal of foil-wrapped potatoes with onions lay in their straightforward, no-fuss preparation. This dish was often made by grandfathers who knew how to turn simple ingredients into something delicious and satisfying. Potatoes and onions, both inexpensive and readily available, were staples in most households. Grandpas would slice them up, season them, and wrap them in foil, letting the magic happen on the grill. As they cooked, the aroma of the caramelizing onions and buttery potatoes would fill the backyard, making everyone's mouth water in anticipation. These foil-wrapped potatoes were a versatile addition to the barbecue spread, complementing the rich, smoky flavors of grilled meats like burgers, hot dogs, and steaks. They provided a comforting, starchy counterpart to the main dishes, their creamy texture and savory flavor perfectly balancing the heartier fare. For many, this dish evokes a time when life was simpler, and the focus was on spending quality time with family rather than on the complexities of gourmet cooking. As barbecue traditions evolved, and newer, more diverse side dishes became popular, foil-wrapped potatoes with onions began to fade from the family barbecue repertoire. However, they remain a cherished memory for those who grew up enjoying them. The sight of those foil packets on the grill, slowly puffing up with steam, is enough to transport anyone back to a time when Grandpa was at the helm of the grill, creating meals that were as much about love and togetherness as they were about flavor. Today, this dish is a rare find, but for those who remember it, it brings back the taste of childhood summers and the joy of simple, delicious food shared with family. Number 9. Bacon-wrapped hot dogs. Bacon-wrapped hot dogs were once a standout dish at backyard barbecues, particularly in the 1950s and 1960s, when grilling was a communal event that brought families and friends together. This dish, often referred to as pigs in a blanket on the grill, combined two beloved ingredients, hot dogs and bacon. It was a straightforward yet indulgent treat that captured the essence of mid-century American grilling: simple, flavorful, and crowd-pleasing. The popularity of bacon-wrapped hot dogs during this time was largely due to their irresistible combination of flavors and textures. The smoky, crispy bacon wrapping provided a salty, savory contrast to the juicy hot dog inside. As the bacon cooked over the open flame, its fat would render, basting the hot dog and infusing it with a rich, smoky flavor. This method of cooking elevated the humble hot dog, making it a memorable part of many family gatherings and neighborhood cookouts. Grandfathers often took pride in making bacon-wrapped hot dogs, showing off their grilling skills by achieving the perfect level of crispiness on the bacon without overcooking the hot dog. These hot dogs were often served straight off the grill, piping hot, and were a hit with both kids and adults. They were frequently served in soft buns with classic condiments like ketchup, mustard, and relish, though some families got creative, adding toppings like cheese, jalapenos, or sauerkraut for an extra layer of flavor. For many, bacon-wrapped hot dogs evoke a sense of nostalgia for a time when life was simpler and food was a central part of family celebrations. The dish was more than just something to eat. It was an experience, a shared moment that brought everyone together around the grill. The sizzle of the bacon, the smoky aroma wafting through the air, and the laughter and stories shared as everyone waited for the hot dogs to be ready. These are the memories that bacon-wrapped hot dogs bring back. As grilling culture evolved and people became more health-conscious, the popularity of bacon-wrapped hot dogs began to wane. The dish, with its high fat content and simple preparation, fell out of favor as people sought out leaner meats and more diverse menu options. However, for those who grew up with them, bacon-wrapped hot dogs remain a cherished memory of childhood barbecues, when the focus was on flavor, fun, and the joy of being together. Number 10. Grilled oysters. Grilled oysters were once a prized dish at many coastal barbecues, especially in the 1940s and 1950s, when they were considered a delicacy of the seaside. This unique barbecue treat captured the essence of simple yet flavorful outdoor cooking, showcasing the natural taste of fresh oysters enhanced by the smoky, charred flavors of the grill. For many families, especially those living near the coast, grilled oysters were a regular feature at summer cookouts, bringing together friends and relatives for a delicious and communal eating experience. Back in the day, grandfathers who were skilled at the grill would carefully select fresh oysters from local markets or directly from the ocean, choosing those with tightly closed shells to ensure they were alive and at their peak freshness. The oysters were placed directly on the grill, shell side down, and the heat from the grill would cause them to slowly open, signaling that they were ready to be eaten. This method not only cooked the oysters but also infused them with a subtle smoky flavor that complemented their natural brininess. To add more flavor, many cooks would prepare a simple mixture of butter, garlic, lemon juice, and herbs, such as parsley or thyme, to spoon over the oysters as they cooked. This mixture would melt into the oysters, creating a rich, savory broth that added depth to their flavor without overpowering their delicate taste. The sizzle of the butter hitting the hot coals and the smell of garlic and herbs wafting through the air would draw everyone to the grill, eager to taste these succulent bites. Grilled oysters were often served right from the grill, eaten directly from the shell with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice or a dash of hot sauce for an extra kick. For many, this was a hands-on, communal experience that defined summer gatherings, a chance to savor the ocean's bounty with minimal fuss and maximum flavor. The simplicity of this preparation, combined with the freshness of the oysters, made grilled oysters a memorable part of family barbecues and a testament to the joys of seasonal, local eating. As barbecuing evolved and became more focused on meats and other hearty fare, grilled oysters slowly disappeared from the scene, especially in areas far from the coast where fresh oysters were not as accessible. The dish's decline was also influenced by changes in food safety regulations and the growing popularity of raw oysters, which became the preferred way to enjoy these shellfish delicacies. However, for those who experienced the tradition of grilling oysters at family cookouts, the memory remains vivid. A reminder of days spent by the sea, enjoying fresh, smoky oysters and the company of loved ones.